Today, our intrepid experts find themselves in the Garden of England.
Very nice.
Beautiful rolling countryside, actually.
Kent is delightful, but there's no time to take in the views, oh no. There's antiques to be had. Gemologist Kate Bliss
Just get the hammer down, sir. Get the hammer down.
and militaria expert Paul Laidlaw
Eternally the optimist.
have been competing in what's been a close-run race. But buckle up, it's almost over.
This is it coming to an end, Kate.
I've got to stop the tears.
Chin up, there's a huge surprise for one of you later.
5 phones on this, you're all in. And we must open the bidding at £1,000 at £1,000. 11, 12.
But that's for later. Kate's initial £200 has stuttered along, leaving her a rather modest £256 and 4 pence to spend on this leg. Paul, who began with the same amount, has streaked ahead and now has a stonking £557 and 70 pence to spend. Can Kate make a dramatic comeback?
Well, you know what they say about that fat lady? It's not over. It's not over.
I can hear her warming up, though.
Yeah, don't count your chickens just yet, Paul. From behind the wheel of a 1967 Volvo, our pair kicked off their journey on the west coast of Wales before crossing into England. They then headed for the south coast before meandering along to Kent, and they'll have a concluding auction in the county of Suffolk. Today's adventure starts off in Ashford and crosses the line with the final auction in Bury St Edmunds. This is going to be the most incredible event. Our expert's first shop is Station Antiques, and it's a joint visit, so stand by.
Character, much like our good selves in our vehicle.
Ooh, and there's a pirate.
Of course there is. We're going
that way. See you
Good
later.
luck. See you then.
Bye.
With Paul in the lead, the pressure's on Kate.
There is serious clear water between us. And, you know, some would say, forget it, he's way ahead, you know, I'll just chill out and relax. But I can't do that. And for me, the game is still very much on.
That's the spirit, my girl.
Yeah, there's nothing to see here, Kate. In my space, woman.
Blimey.
I'm working on this. I'm definitely not looking for books for myself. One of the little joys of life, the smell of books old and new. You know what this one smells of? It smells of profit. What books have value? You know the answer to that question. The first edition. So, this humble-looking little cloth-bound volume from the interwar years, it's actually been rebound. It wasn't published in this binding. The important bit here, however, is the spine. It tells us that this is Woodhouse's Right Ho Jeeves. I can tell you that's the second Jeeves novel. I'm quite sure I'm right. We go to the title page. Right Ho Jeeves by P.G. Woodhouse, published by Herbert Jenkins in 1934. And what you do then is, you turn to the back of the title page and you get the print history here. A Herbert Jenkins book, down at the bottom, printed in Britain, but importantly, it does not say second impression of March 1934. This is telling me it's a first edition, a true first edition. That's a pretty desirable book. I mean, seriously, there's a few £100 and more to buy this book. It's priced at £4. There's a problem, the binding. But you know what? Does it still have a value? Yes. Is it more than £4? Absolutely. And am I going to buy it? Guess.
Crikey. Paul's on a mission.
I've loved it here. I kid you
Good.
not, I've loved it here. And I'm happy with my book.
Hopefully you'll do well with it.
Oh, I'll take that. I'll take good sentiment all day long. A modest £4.
Lovely.
And
Thank you.
my gratitude.
Lovely to meet you. Hope you come back.
Likewise. Hey, first opportunity, I will.
Thank
See ya.
you. Bye-bye.
That's Paul off the mark. How's Kate faring?
Now, there are plenty of antique pieces of furniture here, but what's caught my eye is this piece down here, which just shouts 1960s. It's almost shaped like a music stereo speaker. You've got the contrast of textiles on the side and on the top, and it's in a typical 60s avocado green. So this was originally made as a sewing stool, because open it up and inside you've got almost a sort of plasticky feeling fabric there, original to the piece. And this is where you would keep your sewing items or your magazines. The price tag is £32. I don't think that is too out of the way. It's fresh, it's clean, it's in great condition, and it's shout style.
Food for thought then, Kate. Anything else tickle your fancy?
Oh, I do like this little piece. I don't know why I'm drawn to retro pieces today, but this is really Art Deco in style. You've got the little geometric shaped handle on the top, and then, to top it all, you've got beautiful stripes inlaid in different woods, a satin wood here, contrasted with a really dark mahogany. I think this was probably used for cigarettes. It's priced at £35, which isn't too bad. I think I would like to buy it, of course, for a little bit cheaper.
Best find the lady in charge.
Well, I found this little box, which is quite interesting. The price tag on there is £35. What could you do for me on that?
I could do it. My very best on it would have to be 25.
I've also seen a little sewing table upstairs. Little 1960s one, I think. I was really hoping for the two at 35.
I'll tell you what, I'll go to 20 on this. And that will be my very best. If I can do, if you can do two for 40.
You've been very fair. £40 it is. Thank you very
Lovely,
much indeed.
thank you.
Great. Let me give you some money. Here we go. That's for you. Thank you
Fantastic,
very much.
thank you.
Lovely. Bye for now.
See you again.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's leave Kate to load the car and we'll catch up with Paul. He's in Dover to find out more about one of the world's greatest endurance swimming challenges, the English Channel Swim. The channel is approximately 21 miles wide at its narrowest and was first swum unaided in 1875 by Merchant Navy Captain Matthew Webb in just under 22 hours. Paul's meeting Joe Smith, a local who knows a thing or two about swimming this stretch of water.
Joe, it must bring back memories coming back to this beach where you set off.
I stood down the beach and I knew I was going to get across.
Joe was the first British pensioner to successfully swim the channel. At 65 years old, he swam across in 14 hours and 9 seconds.
What was it like stepping out of the channel having done it? What did that, I mean, you must have been broken, Joe.
Oh, when you get to France, the boat can't go in because the beaches are very shallow. So you go in swimming with a rowboat and suddenly your hands touch the bottom. And you think, God, I can crawl on my hands and knees now, you know. But I stood up and you've got to wade. The rule is you must wade clear of the water.
An elation, surely, Joe.
Oh, yeah, wonderful.
Remarkable. Joe is one of the 1,731 people who have successfully swum the English Channel to date. But, as Joe knows very well, for every successful crossing, there are countless failures.
I failed twice, 2 years running, and I didn't swim much after that.
Now Joe is working with Dover Museum to help chronicle all the other failed attempts.
We don't like to call them failures, they're unsuccessful. There's been quite a lot.
And the man who holds the record for the amount of unsuccessful attempts was a Scotsman called Jabez Wolfe.
Oh, Jabez, the unluckiest swimmer ever. He had 3 attempts in 1904. He was swimming quite well, and the crew told him how well he was doing, and he said, "Good!" And he cheered and kicked his leg, pulled the main tendon in his leg, and swam for another 3 hours, but then they had to take him out. He tried 2 weeks later, and of course his leg gave up after 3 hours. And he tried a month later, and his leg gave up.
Was the swim a solo exercise or were they accompanied?
Well, he had as many as 30 people supporting him on the boat. He loved having a pipe major who played the bagpipes, and he played all the tunes that Jabez liked. And, you know, he was doing 32 strokes to the minute, and they played the tune that kept his 32 stroke. And if he started to tire and slow down, the music would start and he'd get him back to his 32.
Lord. And what sort of sustenance, what food did he consume, do we know?
Well, he finished up, he used to have chicken sandwiches, chicken broth. He had oxo, bovril and beef tea.
But even chicken, broth and bagpipes couldn't get Jabez Wolfe across the channel.
He 21 attempts. Once or twice he was in a mist and they didn't know where they were going. And when the mist finally cleared, it drifted so far east or west, it was impossible to finish.
Wolfe's most heartbreaking attempt saw him within 400 yards of a French beach.
He just said, I've had it, lads. He said, I can't do any more. And he just stopped swimming and collapsed.
Although Jabez Wolfe never did quite manage to swim the English Channel himself, he went on to become a renowned coach, guiding several of his swimmers to succeed where he had failed. Some of Wolfe's failed attempts started here on this very beach.
Paul, do you not fancy a go yourself?
Best leave Paul to it, I guess. Let's catch up with Kate along the coast.
But it would be brilliant on this last leg if I could find a little bit of silver and jewellery, which is really my field.
Fingers crossed then. Kate's made her way to Hythe. She's visiting the Malt House, which has got over 20 dealers. There's plenty to see, certainly.
An emporium like this, there's so much to look at. You've got to really sift through things. And the cabinets are really my terrain. And in here, we've got a lot of jewellery, some of it modern, some of it costume. It's actually the bottom shelf that I am most interested in. And in here, I have spotted a lovely little Art Deco compact. Now, I'm well aware that I bought a compact on the last leg. It didn't make me much of a profit, but there is a real buoyant market for these, and it's ones that are just a little bit different or have a different name that are doing the best. This one has caught my eye because it's strikingly Art Deco. It's got the geometric striped pattern in contrasting black and green, and the green is actually simulating shark skin. Now, when you open it up, you can see immediately the sifter here for the powder has got a black edge to it. And there was one firm that particularly used that. And if you look really carefully, and here's the thing with compacts, one of these is particularly useful. I think I can see, and I'm exactly right, just by the hinge, there's a name. And that name is Gwenda.
Gwenda was the trademark of Hussey Dawson of Birmingham.
Now, the compacts in the 30s, very much like this one, were meant to be affordable by this firm. So very often, they were thrown away. And it's lovely that this one has survived in such nice condition. I think we need to find out the price. Sue, are you about?
Yes, I am.
Oh, Sue, hi there.
Hi. How can I help you?
I've spotted this little compact. It was right tucked down in the bottom of the cabinet there. I think there was a price tag down there with 28 on it.
Right, okay, yep.
I was really hoping for sort of 10 to 15 pounds.
If I said 18, are we gonna go further?
Is that your best price?
I would take it on the chin for 18.
Yeah, well, I think that's very kind. It's a very kind offer. I think we'll do that.
You happy with that?
I am happy with that,
Lovely.
if you're happy with that.
I'm happy with that. And
We're
I'll
all
take it up.
happy.
We're all happy.
And I'm happy with that. £18 then for the compact. And that concludes today's shopping.
It is so green, so verdant. It matches our little Volvo.
Well, true. Do you know, she's been just a joy to drive.
She has. But now it's time for the land of Nod. So, nighty-night. Good morning from a very chipper Kent.
Oh, isn't it a jolly holiday with Paul?
Kate, have you come over D-Mob happy? Oh, man.
Yesterday, Kate bought the sewing stool, the Art Deco box and the Gwenda compact. And she's got £198 left to spend.
That's for you.
Fantastic.
very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Paul just bought the first edition PG Woodhouse for the princely sum of £4,
I've loved it here. I kid you not, I've loved it here.
leaving him with a whopping £553 to spend today.
It's been a chill journey, this.
Yes, it has.
Mellow.
Yes, it's the last day for shopping and I am going to enjoy myself.
Paul's dropped Kate off on the way to his first destination in the Kent Downs, the town of Faversham.
I'm heading to some shops and I am going to do what I do. Look for good things that might have a buck left in them at all.
Paul's visiting Aladdin's Loft, situated on the historic Standard Quay.
I've got one item so far, the first edition. Couldn't be happier with it. But right now, that's history. Game face on.
Talking the talk. What have you found then?
Portable carbon dioxide indicator.
Dating from the interwar years, this was used to monitor potentially deadly carbon dioxide levels in mines. Paul loves a scientific instrument.
It doesn't sound dear. £30. We'll see.
Time for a chat with the lady in charge.
Carol,
Hello, sorry.
talk to you about some stuff in this cool unit here.
Yes, you can.
Never seen one before, don't know what it is. I'm not going to profess to be an expert, but we have got here a CO2 indicator at £30. Do you think there might be flexibility in that price?
There could well be. I can only do 10% without talking to the stall holder.
Okay, but
Or you can make an offer and I can give him an offer.
I'll offer 20 grand then.
Weave your magic then, Carol.
Good news, Paul.
Carol.
He says he can do that for £20 if you want it.
That was painless.
You wait for Paul to find one item, then two come along all at once.
I'm drawn to the bus stop sign.
And it's got £130 on the ticket.
Shall I go and find out the best price?
Would
on it
you?
then? I will do.
Could,
yeah.
could you be brutal?
Okay.
Thank
I'll
you,
go and
Carol.
find out.
Thank
See you
you.
in a minute.
What am I doing? I'm now buying enamel signs. I don't think I've ever bought an enamel sign. I think that's a great thing, and that is a good example. Glass enamel, double-sided, bronze frame, the mount's all there, good to go. I think if you're looking for a bus stop sign, that's probably the one.
What's the verdict then, Carol?
75 is his absolute death on it. That's the best he can do.
I think it would be rude not to shake hands on that.
Okay, thank you very
What I
much.
like.
Paul's bagged the bus stop sign and the carbon dioxide indicator for a total of £95.
There's 100 for you.
Thank you. And there's £5 change.
Thanks very much. I will
Thank
pop
you.
it. Right. Can I have this? I've no idea how heavy this thing is.
That one's pretty heavy.
It is indeed. Sorry, I had my porridge this morning.
Spoken like a true Scotsman.
See you again, all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Meanwhile, in the city of Canterbury, Kate's visiting the Kent Museum of Freemasonry. Roger O'Brien is a Freemason and museum trustee.
You must be Roger.
I am.
How do you do?
Good morning, Kate.
The Freemasons have traditionally been viewed by outsiders as a secretive organisation, with non-members having little or no idea about the inner workings of Masonic lodges.
So tell me, Roger, what are the origins of Freemasonry?
We like to think that it originates with the original stonemasons who built the castles and cathedrals and churches in the medieval period. The stonemasons themselves grouped together, and when they were travelling around the country, they needed to be able to prove that they were actually qualified to take part in the work which was going on. And so they developed systems of passwords and signs, which we've rather adopted the same sort of method, so that one mason can recognise another one.
The Freemasons also adopted the stonemasons' tools for use in their ceremonies.
Like the square and compasses, the skirit, the plumb rule.
During the next couple of centuries, this rather secretive fraternity continued to thrive, even receiving royal patronage.
King Edward VII, whilst he was Prince of Wales, was our Grand Master.
The organisation also experienced a rapid growth overseas, with lodges being established as the British Empire expanded.
So it became strong in places like Canada and India and Australia.
But its purpose has always been shrouded in mystery.
We've been accused of being a secret society, but certainly in the last few years we've been trying to be much more open about what we do. And frankly, the secrets these days are really quite symbolical and are much related only to the words and passwords and signs that we give to one another.
Now, on the 300th anniversary of its formation, the Grand Lodge of England is allowing non-Masons a peek into their world.
So what year does this date from, Roger?
The room itself was built in 1880, specifically as a Masonic hall.
I can imagine people who would come in here, Masons would come in here, dressed in their full regalia, presumably.
Oh yes, we all sit around in our regalia. The Master of the Lodge sits in this chair here, and his next most senior officers sit in the chairs at the other side, in what is called the East, the West, and the South.
And what sort of business goes on here?
Well, we perform our ceremonies of 3 degrees of craft masonry, plus the installation of a master, which takes place once a year. But there is other business as well, including decisions about what money we give to charity.
What sort of person would be in here?
Well, first of all, he has to be a man. He has to be age 21. People who join can come from any walk of life. We've had famous film stars, down to people with more humble jobs.
The Grand Lodge of England has been ever present for 300 years. Its new spirit of openness might help it survive for the next 300. Now, Paul has made his way to Margate on the North Kent coast. He's visiting the town's old ice factory, which is now home to R.G. Scott's Furniture Mart, trading since 1969. This shop is a biggie. This is Paul's last opportunity to shop. Time for a quick tour from the man in charge, the hatted Ron.
We're on 3 floors. The upstairs is mainly furniture, but there's all stuff everywhere. And on this floor, there's 4 rooms through, and in the middle, there's a staircase goes down to a room full of chairs and another room full of furniture down below. Plus, there's 3 outside yards, but I think we're going to have enough to do in here today without sorting out
the key thing is,
yards.
today, I'm off. You're going to see me soon.
Good
if
man.
you don't send the cavalry, OK?
There's certainly enough to be going on with. Look at that.
How awesome is this place?
What have you found there, Paul?
In your cabinet over there.
Yep.
Optical instrument.
Yep.
There you go, that's it there anyway. And one of these quack electric therapy machines.
Absolutely.
Grand night in was had by all, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Hair standing on end.
Yeah. Yes. 45 on that. 75 on that.
65, 35, £100 or 2. That would please me. Anything different than that, and I'd probably have to say thanks for the offer, but not for me. They're nice quality things, Paul, and there's a good market from amongst collectors. Whether that is where you're selling the things or not, I'm not sure. But
I'm no arguing with you, Ron. I only want to buy one. You said 65.
65, 35.
Bid you 50 quid.
Bid me 60 and I'll shake your hand, but I'm not going to do any better than that, I'm afraid.
Shake my hand.
Good man. Deal done.
A £15 discount secures this little brass camera. Tell us more, Paul.
So, pretty standard mahogany instrument case. Brass swivels, lacquered brass plate on the lid, chambre automatique. French instrument, de Birch, so it's of Birch's design. And then we've got abbreviations here, BVT, SGDG. This is instrument 229. They were numbered, not many made. And the abbreviations I gave you previously tells us that the design was registered or patented in France. Okay. What do you get for your money when you open it up? Well, that looks like a peep sight. And it is. Hello. I think this was a very early sub-miniature camera. Camera body, lens, shutter, very early. No iris, no mechanical shutter. That's it, expose, end exposure. Open up here. What goes in there? Your plate, the glass plate. That, if I'm right, could be quite exciting. And if I'm right, the fields contain the chemicals that would be used to develop the photographic plate. Collodion. That's a chemical used in very early photography, the colloidal process. I think I've nailed it. The photographic market is very much in the ascent. It's a hot market. I think that's a good thing.
I think you're right. That's a great find and should provoke great interest at auction. Anything else?
Any port in a storm. That'll make sense in a minute. 3 curios here. Penknife, you'd say, bosun's pipe, and a badge. The Sea, Royal Navy, links these. A bosun's pipe, of course, is used to pipe aboard officers and so on. This is a First or Second World War example. It is a military piece by virtue of the broad arrow. Ordnance property, this. This is the barrel, this is the pipe, and this is the keel of the bosun's pipe. Then we've got a badge. That, of course, is a torpedoman's badge or some such. Don't have no authority on naval rank and trade, but that's what it is. A bullion example worn on the Admiralty jumper. And lastly, why, Laidlaw, do you have some old penknife? Well, this isn't any old penknife. This type of knife here, very distinctive, standard Royal Navy issue during both World Wars and beyond. So here we have it. 3 random objects bearing a common ancestry. So altogether, these are priced at £30. I think that's enough. But if I can squeeze a wee bit out of Ron, I'd be interested in taking that to auction. It's a good little themed lot, no?
Oh, Ron!
I have what I would call a puckle of objects for you.
A puckle, new word for me.
A puckle, a wee handful.
All right.
Yeah, it's Scots.
I must be north of the border.
That is a Navy clasp knife.
Yeah.
That is a Navy bosun's pipe.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that torpedo? Is that?
I think it's torpedo men of some rank or other.
Would you be happy if I throw those in for the price of those? So they get the 3 for the price of 2.
What does that come to? 25?
25. How do you feel about that?
No bad, but I'd be happier at 20.
Say 22. Let's try and...
Say 22.
22. Good man. Put me a little marker in. I like it.
A pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ron, it's been out of this world.
So that's the Navy knife, midshipman's pipe, the torpedo badge and the sub-miniature camera, all for £82.
Thanks again, Ron.
Hey, good business. Thanks
All
a
the
lot, my
best.
friend.
Let's leave Paul with his booty and head inland. Kate's made her way to the charming Kent village of Chilham. She's visiting a restored 17th century barn, home to Bagham Barn Antiques, and there's no time to waste.
I'm going to get to work because this is my last shop.
Just as well as it's packed to the rafters than Kate.
Now, what this immediately caught my eye is a little treasure in here. Now, look at this. Tucked in there, and this is just my kind of thing. It's a lady's evening purse, and actually the best quality examples were very often French, dating from this period around 1900 or the very early part of the 20th century. And the thing to do straight away is to see if there is any mark at all around this frame. And I'm just going to get my glass on this, because with a bit of luck, we might just have a bit of a clue. Very often, here we go. So on the side here, we have a little patent stamped and initials, but on the other side, we have initials ARG. Now in French, that stands for argent, which is French for silver. And I think what we've got here is actually a silver frame that has then been gilded. Now it's priced at 53. I'm going to tuck that to one side and keep looking.
That's one possible.
Ooh, now, this is something a little bit different. We've got a stand here with lots of fairly ordinary 20th century ceramics, and in amongst it is a little piece of Moorcroft pottery.
Ah, the famous Stoke-on-Trent firm, founded in 1897.
And on the back here, if I take the sticker off, you can see straight away we've got the right impress mark and made in England. Now, the thing I really love about this is actually the shape. You've got a lovely heart-shaped dish here. They put a little line of slip or liquid pottery, which is raised on the pottery dish, and just gives it a bit of a three-dimensional effect. This isn't the best piece in the world that I've seen, but nevertheless, this is a piece of Moorcroft, and it's priced at 48, which is quite reasonable.
Time to chat money with dealer Peggy.
So, as a sweet little dish here, you've got 48 on there. What could you do, Peggy, on that?
40 he would take, but no lower.
Right, £40. Well, I have seen something else.
Okay.
It's a lovely little gilt evening purse. Do you know the one?
With the chain?
Yes, with the chain handle, yes.
Okay.
Now, that's priced at 53. If I took the two, what could you do?
Maybe 70 for the two. That would be the very, very best.
That's the rock bottom.
Rock bottom.
OK. We'll go with 70, Peggy. If you're happy with that. Thank you very much. You've been very kind.
Well, that's 35 for the Moorcroft and 35 for the evening purse. And that's the last shop of this road trip.
Got a wee bit of a lead here, and I'm still, there's a little voice saying, what happens if you go to the auction? And Kate goes, but have a look at this.
Well, we'll soon find out, Paul. Sleep tight, eh? Good morning from the market town of Bury St Edmunds, the last stop on this antiques road trip. Our experts started off their final leg dashing around Kent before heading north to Suffolk.
I can't believe it's the last
Oh, I
auction.
can't believe it's the last one. But hey, I hope it's not all lawnmowers.
The final auction of this trip is hosted by Lacey Scott and Knight, who've been auctioneering since 1869. Paul's brought along a total of 5 lots to sell, which cost him £181. Kate has also got 5 lots in the auction, and she spent £128. But what do our experts make of each other's buys?
What a smart little combine. By Gwenda, a less common manufacturer. So if you're ticking the boxes, this might be one you still need to acquire for your collection. I don't think there's a fortune in it, but on a good day you could double our money.
Now, from time to time in my business, I come across items which I call spine tinglers. And this is one of those objects. Inside, a little miniature camera. It's all there. This could have been just as it was left in the mid-19th century. Potentially an incredibly rare piece which could excite collectors around the world.
Paul's done his own research since buying that camera.
This would have been hugely expensive and sold to the elite. Believe me, this isn't your common or garden. This in its day was cutting edge, and today it's important for that reason.
This lot has also caught auctioneer Edward Crichton's eye.
The sub-miniature camera, I've never seen one. In fact, we've carried out some research and cannot find any other examples that have sold at auction. We were very excited to see this, and it certainly has the potential.
It's a packed room, the phone bidders are on the line, and the internet is buzzing too.
Well, you couldn't fit many more in, could you? It's packed out.
I'll take that as an omen.
Right, first up is Kate's Art Deco box.
£10 for it. 10 I'm bid, thank you, at £10. 15 is that? At £10. 15 now at £10. Are we all done? I'll sell it away if that's the best. At £10, all done.
Not to worry, you've still got 4 lots to go.
I'm happy for the buyer, but my heart bleeds for the seller.
Paul detected profit with his carbon dioxide indicator.
20 on bid, thank you. Room bid 5 online. 30 now, 30 at £30. 5 is there online, 35, 40, 5,
they're
50.
starting.
One more at 5, at 55. With you, Sean, at 55. At £55, are we all done? At 55, any advance selling at 55.
Well, Paul's off to a flying start.
It's a good profit, but having to rely on that for your life down the mine.
How will Kate's sewing stool go down?
Straight in at 25, 30, 5.
Nice steps.
40, yes, 40 at £40. It's had its time then at £40, all done.
Great, you're off the mark, Kate, and doubled your money to boot.
Oh, very
I think that's fair.
Next up is Paul's second lot.
We've got to open on commission at 70. At £70, at £70, 580, 590, 5100, at 110, 20, 130, at 130, at 130, any advance in the tunnel at 130, at 130.
They're all in the room.
130. We all done? Selling away for all done at 130.
God, he's on a roll.
Ding ding. Next stop. Next stop, Profitville.
Next, Kate's compact. Nice item, should do well.
20 on bid. Is that 5, sir? 5. 30 new place. 5. 40. 5. 50. At £50. One more, sir. At £50, the ladies bid at 50. At £50, any advance. It's all in the room. At £50. Are we all done? At 50.
Well done. That's a great profit.
It's a nice surprise.
Well played.
So often I get a nice surprise these days.
I don't believe that. Now, the combined naval lot.
£30 got to be. 20 on bid, thank you, at 20. At £20, take a 5 at £20. At £20, any advance. At £20 for the 3 pieces there at 20. Are we at 5 at 25? You're out on the back wall at 25, this way at 25. All done at 25.
Well, it's still a profit.
Somebody bought well.
Yeah.
But I'm very got it with that clean. I'll take it. Okay.
Next, can Kate bag a decent margin?
20 on bid, thank you, at 25. 30 at £30. You quite sure? One more at £30. 5 at 35 still looks good value to me. At 35, 40 new place. At £40, the gentleman's bid at £40. Are we all done? You'll wear it well, sir. At £40, all done.
I'm sure he will. Kate's winning streak continues.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Now for Paul's first edition PG Woodhouse.
At £10, 15 if you want online, 10 in the room, all in pink at £10. At £10, are we all done? At a tenner.
Well, a profit's a profit.
Oh, the auction game, eh? You
The
take
auction
nothing
game.
for granted. What?
Will Kate's heart be broken with the Moorcroft?
20's a low start, but I'll take it. 20 I'm bid at 20. At £20, 5 now online, 30 at £30. At £30, at £30. At £30, the room bid, you're quiet online, at £30. At £30, any advance. At £30, if we're all done, at 30.
Never mind. It'll make someone happy.
It's a 50 to 70 pound piece all day long, I think. Apparently not.
Apparently not.
Now, stop what you're doing! Pull up a chair. You won't want to miss this. It's Paul's sub-miniature camera. Stand by.
A lot of interest here, and we must open. We've got 5 phones on this. You're all in? Yes, 5 phones. And we must open the bidding at £1,000 at £1,000. 11, 12.
Oh,
13,
my
14,
Lord.
2,000. 2,2.
They're not messing around.
3,000.
What?
3,2. 3,4. 3,8. At £3,800. At 3,800. At 3,800. 4,000 is there? Glenn, 4,000 on Glenn's phone at £4,000.
That is truly amazing. It's just smashed the previous road trip record, and now the bidding's up to 10 grand.
10, 11 is next.
He's not taking £1,000 increments.
So £10,000 online, 11 is next. 11,000.
He is. The lines are red hot.
12,000. 13,000.
What?
It's not slowing down. It's just not slowing down.
Engineer is so confident.
At £14,000
Don't
online,
hurry him.
14,000.
Don't hurry him. Take your time.
15,000. A record price for a general sale at 15,000. Or a homes and interior sale, 16,000.
Wow, it's even breaking the auction house records, and the bids are still coming.
17,000. Thank you, Glenn. At 17,000. 18,000.
Paul's speechless, and I'm not surprised.
19. £19,000.
Good cry.
At 20,000, may I ask two? At £20,000 online. Are you out, Scott? Alex? Ollie? At £20,000, it's had its time then. Can't sell it again. It's a very rare example. At £20,000, if we're all done, at 20,000.
Fantastic! All that profit off the back of a little camera. That's what I call an astonishingly good end to a road trip.
I've got no words. I'm over the moon.
What an incredible result. I'm so chuffed for Paul.
Most items in these sales make between £50 and £500, so 20,000, staggering, wonderful.
Genuinely flabbergasted.
You and the whole nation, mate. Kate set off on this leg with £256 and 4p, and after auction costs, she made a small profit of £11 and 40p, leaving her with a final total of £267 and 44p. She done good. But Paul started off with £557 and 70p. After his auction costs today, he made a massive £16,399 and 40p profit, leaving him with a total gargantuan £16,957 and 10p. Whew! All profits raised go to children in need, and even Ron, the shop owner who sold Paul the camera, is happy. So's Paul.
So you have fun. You go treasure hunting, and all that good comes of it. Does it get any better than that?
You know, I don't think it does, Paul. We've had a blast. There's been dancing and singing. Tantrums?
In my space, woman.
And laughter.
Look at that.
And not forgetting the biggest profit ever on the Antiques Road Trip.
At £20,000, if we're all done, at 20,000.
But alas, it's time to say goodbye. Next time, are our new couple, Natasha Raskin-Sharp and Charles Hanson, speaking the same language?
Don't back yourself, don't worry.
Dinner flash.
And can their union stand the competition? Or will it all end in tears?
Are you in gear?
Yes!
Wow, what an end to this week's road trip. Well, no less exciting and